You know, one thing I've noticed since starting this archery adventure of mine that the Lord's got me on is as the hunting season has progressed, uh, I've been doing a lot more hunting than I have actual practicing. That's not something that you necessarily think about when you're out there, but it's very important. I'm learning to maintain some practice. Uh, and, with my recurve, and I suppose it's the same with any vertical bow setup, but my recurve, I have to practice several times a week. Usually several ends of arrows, to keep in good practice. And it's not just flinging dozens or hundreds or even thousands of arrows, one right after another, we do that, but it's more about the, perfect practice makes perfect thing. Lots of practice just makes practice, but I think that's one of the appeals of a crossbow. And I own a crossbow. I'm not dogging on anybody that uses a crossbow. I'm not going to do that. I'm a hunter. I hunt with a gun. I hunt with archery equipment. I hunt with muzzleloader or just whatever. If you told me I could hunt with a spear in Arkansas, I'd probably go to shot. But I think that's one of the appeals of a crossbow, is that without very much practice, anyone can pretty much just pick it up and shoot it a few times, zero in the scope, and go outside and hunt pretty much any game animal, especially large game animal in North America, or anywhere in the world for that matter. But when it comes to my recurve, I have got to keep practicing. So, with that in mind, I made this little video to kind of watch myself, and it's in the dark, it's dim, but it's good to make these little videos of yourself practicing so that you can go back and look at them and look at your form, look at all kinds of things, So with that in mind, I was watching my shot, and really there's always room for improvement, and I'm not bragging on myself, but there's not too much there that really stands out as being just bad wrong, my release could always be a little bit smoother. It looks like sometimes that I'm plucking the string, and I may be, but in slow motion, I've watched it, and it really does look like I'm just relaxing my fingers. I'm not necessarily letting go of the string. I'm just kind of relaxing my fingers, and that seems to make for a pretty smooth release. I forgot to edit this part out. Yeah. Just got some B-roll of Lucille the truck and the SUV. That's Jane's vehicle. Terrain, we call it the SUV. The SUV. Okay, I'm back. So, I took my brace height out, not on purpose, but I took my brace height out on this one I've been working from anywhere from 8 to 8.25 inch brace height, and this one I went out to 8.5. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of difference. If anything, it seems like I'm shooting a little bit low. And you gotta remember too, it's nighttime. There's the release I'm talking about. Here in a little bit, you're gonna see it in slow motion, and it doesn't look bad. It In slow motion, it actually looks a whole lot smoother. You'll notice that I'm using a fixed crawl method of aiming and drawing the bow. And you'll also notice on some of these draws that I hold that full draw sometimes for a very long time. A lot of traditional archers, as soon as they come back to their anchor, that arrow is gone. And you'll see right here, I hold it sometimes longer than others. Sometimes I let go pretty fast, but for me to be successful, I've found that I have got to aim the arrow. I have got to aim at my target, and the longer I do that, the better my shot is. I've also changed in the last couple months from a slight cant in my bow to the right to a straight up vertical stand. Straight up, I just hold the bow completely vertical now. And it seems to work great. It just straightens up everything, man. Straight up and down, and that brings your left and right into line, and it's great. It works awesome. So anyway, I'm still learning stuff, man. I'm still tweaking stuff, still learning stuff. So Mahala and I did get a deer the other day. We got one in the freezer now. So that's, getting that first deer down for the season takes a lot of pressure off of me. I have a lot of self-induced pressure this year to perform, but it's going to be okay. Now I got that pressure off me, and I can just have fun now and keep hunting. Archery is so cool. It's not even funny. Here I go again. I'm not there. I thought I edited these better, but oh well, it's late. It's literally like 2:40 in the morning, so it's okay. On the close shots, 12 to 15 yards, I'm pretty much dead on. When I get to about 20, 21 yards, I have to aim a little bit high, but not too bad. It seems like some of my here we go, slow-mo. So it seems like some of my shots are pretty low. It's just a couple inches low, and honestly, everybody that I've listened to and everybody I've watched, anybody that's killed a lot of deer with a bow, they all seem to say the same thing, that when you're close to a deer or a pig or whatever, bear, with a bow, they don't really have time to react to the shot, to the sound of the string, so they don't have really a whole lot of time to jump the string, or to duck the string, whatever. But when you're 20 yards and farther, especially deer and pigs, they're really fast. So in just like a half of a second, those suckers can move down. They can duck so much that a perfectly placed heart shot will end up in the spine or even going straight over the back of a deer, at 20, 25, 30 yards. So most everybody is said the same thing. They said aim low. Aim like right at the bottom of the heart. That way if they do duck, you might get a double lung. And really, you can only practice for so many different scenarios, unless you're practicing with live animals all the time, then, I want to put myself, and I think every archer should put themselves in a position to where, at the very least, everything that they do, when the arrow and the bow, become separate. When the arrow leaves the bow, everything they do should have been perfect. They should have practiced enough. I should practice enough to where I've taken out as many variables as I can. But the bottom line is, I have no idea what the animal is going to do that I'm aiming at. You know, as soon as that arrow's gone, I'm only in control of when I let loose that arrow, man. Once it's gone, I don't have any control over what that animal's going to do. So I think that's why it's so important to practice, because you never know what's going to happen. But good luck, everybody.